down, 260, 270, 280, 290, 300, 310, 6 gear, 320. Hello there guys, and welcome to the RacingMachine channel. My name is Samuel, and today we're going to do another video on the game Project Cars, but this time I'm gonna bring you guys some car very special. So this time we'll be driving the Mclaren F1, which basically made my childhood happier, and I used it to dream about this car. It used to be, in my opinion, the greatest car in the 90s. So it was surely the king of its era. Well, I still remember that very famous video of Andy Wallace testing the McLaren F1 car in the Volkswagen testing facility named Era Lesian, the track with a straight 9 kilometers long. If you didn't see this video, take a look at this.
270, 300, 330, 350, 360, 370, 380, 386, 388, 389, 390, 390, 391, 391. It will not go any more than 391. But anyway, 391's quite fast, isn't it?
So surely quite an impressive run for a car with a V12 engine at 6.1 liter, producing about 627 horsepower, so 391 kilometers an hour is quite fast, isn't it? Just like Andy said. So yeah, we'll drive this car today in the game Project Cars and in the track of Le Mans. So we will try to compare it with the McLaren P1, its successor, and the others that we drove before, the Pagani Huayra and the Huff CTR3. So let's first give a look into its interior, and then we'll move on to the hot lapping. So far so good. This is a dream that came true. I always dreamed on sitting inside this car, so it surely is a dream to be able to sit inside here, and this quite an amazing machinery. It surely is a great car. Look at this interior. First thing to be noticed is that I am pretty much sit in the center. So you see one seat in my side, left side, and the other seat in the right side. They are actually very small seats, probably fitting only a child or a woman, but it's not big enough for me. So we don't see much buttons inside the McLaren F1. It's a pretty clean interior. We see some buttons in at my legs left and in my legs right, but we don't see too many things. Oops, I hit my head into the shifter. We don't see too many switches and stuff like in the Pagani Huayra, but it surely is an amazing interior. Let's see the dashboard first. Let me move my seat a little bit forward so I can show you guys the Speedo and the stuff. Yeah, I think it looks better now. I'm trying to see. Okay, So see the Speedo doing 400 kilometers an hour. I think during Andy's run of 391 he might have passed that 400 mark. You see the tech doing 800 RPMs. You see the other indicators, fuel, water and oil, and it's a pretty clean dash with the F1 brand right in the tachometer and the F1 V12 brand into the center of the steering wheel. So very unique brand. Surely any car enthusiast will recognize this brand. It's very famous. I love this round steering wheel, very different from today's Ferraris and modern cars. You don't have any buttons or switches in the steering wheel. It's pretty clean, just what a driver should have on his hands. So I love this this feeling. This car has no electronic aids nor power steering assist, so it's a pretty tough car to drive. We got a 6-speed manual transmission. You see the stick here. Wait, my. Okay, so let me fix the camera. Okay. So see a 6-speed transmission. When I put first gear in my Thrustmaster shifter, it will switch to the first gear in the game, and the same for second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, and up to sixth gear, where it should be doing over 390. And God knows until when. So so a pretty nice car. I love this feeling of being in the center, and very impressive car. So I think that's it for the interior, but before we get into the hot laps, I'm gonna do something very different this time. I'm gonna show you guys the Speedo. So I'm gonna zoom in with my Oculus Rift and we'll accelerate to the maximum we can before the first chicane. I think that should be about 2.5 kilometers long, so should be enough for 300 at least. It's a pity that we don't have the unchicaned lemons version on this game, because the unchicaned version should give us a 6 kilometer long straight. Should be enough for 380, 390. Well, enough said. This car will top 100 kilometers an hour in 3 and low seconds, probably 3.2, 116 6 and something seconds, 200 in 10 or less, and 300 maybe in 20 seconds or 22, I don't know. So let's see, starting on 60, 100 RPMs, and we'll be off in 3, 2, 1, and go. And now we go, lots of wheel spin into first gear, now second gear, 160, 180, 200, fourth gear, 220, 240, fifth gear, 260, 270, 280, 290, we're going 300, 310, sixth gear now, 320, 200 miles an hour, 330, 340, look at the speed just before crashing into the barriers. Wow, 340, that's amazing for a car with 600 plus horsepower only. So that's roughly the same speed as we did on the McLaren P1. And wow, what a car that is. The acceleration is bloody hell fast. Wow. I almost couldn't read the numbers racing. And it's a pity that we can't have a track on this game long enough for 390. It should be amazing to see all those numbers racing after 300. So a very fast car indeed. So let's move on now to the hot laps and see how it performs in the corners and in the braking points. We're just ending our first warm-up lap, starting our very first hot lap with the McLaren F1. Very hard braking into the first corner. trying to be very smooth because the car understeers quite a lot and oversteers as well. To the downhill, keeping turn, very low grip. Wow. Lots of action still in the early lap. Now into the Mustang straight, let's see the Speedo, 240 to 5th gear now, 260, 270, 280, 290, 300, 310, 6th gear, 220, 330. Now I gotta watch the braking zone. Hoping that the car will stop to the first chicane of the Mustang straight. Having to be very smooth here, as the car really wants to spin. It has very low grip. I mean, it wants to understeer and oversteer all the time, so it's very hard to keep it under control. This car has no electronic assists. Very hard braking, keeping the front end under control, avoiding understeer. Can't floor it yet. Wow! As soon as I floor it, the car wants to spin. The sunlight getting us blind, but no problem. This very slow hairpin to 4th gear. It's very hard to floor it in 4th and 2nd gears. You gotta watch the gas because it doesn't have any traction control and it doesn't have ABS and it still doesn't have any power steering assist, so it's very hard to control the car. Slightly touching the grass. It's very hard to keep it under control. A little understeer here, but no problem. Very careful. The hairpin, 2nd gear. It accelerates extremely fast. This car is as fast as the Mclaren F1 on the straight, but it surely is not as fast in the corners. Mainly in the braking zones, it's not as grippy as the P1. Well, this is a true man's car. Gotta have 3 balls to drive this very fast. It's not really easy. It's far from being easy. I think it's the hardest car in the Project Cars game so far. There's no harder car in my opinion. Going to the last chicane just to complete our 4th hot lap. Now entering the 2nd hot lap. Whoa. It's very funny and very real to drive this Thrustmaster shifter. So much fun to drive it like in the old days. It's a lot harder, and once you are inside this car, you gotta work all the time. I just can't relax for a single second, otherwise the car will kill you. Let's see the Speedo again, 240, 250, 260, 270, 280, 290, 300, 310, 6th gear now, 320, 330 and moving to 340, but I gotta watch the braking point. Just praying for the car to stop. It's a very, very hard braking with this car. You gotta brake very gently. You're barely pressing the brake pedal. Because it will lock up the front wheels very easily. So gotta be very careful with that. Letting the car enter the turn very smoothly. As soon as you flurry, look at this here and trying to slide all the way through. Moving to the hairpin now. Quickly. Oh, I just missed the gear. Wow. Wow. It certainly is a hard car to drive. This is my first time driving it, so very, very hard work. Very hard braking into this slow section. To second gear. Wow. It really wants to spin the tires in second gear, even at 160. Doesn't matter, the car is so fast. Wow. Gonna downshift very smoothly. I will miss gears just like I did before. It's very real. Love to heel and toe with those cars. Just feeling like Ayrton Senna with this red racing suit from Mclaren, just like the one he used in the 80s. We're just about to complete our second hot lap. Braking very gently to avoid going off track. Now for the last chicane. Wow! That's it, second lap completed, and that's it. What a car, man. Wow. Let me stop my video here. Ooh, that was so crazy. Wow, man. This Mclaren F1, it's so fast on the straights. It's just as fast as the Mclaren P1. But it brakes and it turns and it grips 10 times less. So it's very hard to drive the car. I mean, it goes up 340 and something on the straight. But once you hit a braking point, you gotta be very gentle, and I mean you are barely pressing the brake pedals, because if you press just a little bit more, it will lock up the front wheels and you are dead. And this shifter makes everything harder as well, because you gotta downshift during the heel and toe very smoothly. And you see that I missed the 5th gear while braking for the hairpin, and that almost caused me a crash. And so it's very real. And if you never drove a manual gearbox car before, you should definitely do that. Just go and buy your Thrustmaster shifter. It's amazing. This car felt really nice to drive. It's a lot harder than a P1, and well, I just felt I was pushed to my limits, and it was my first time driving it, so lots of action, lots of moments, and well, just hope you guys like that. If so, click the like button and don't forget to subscribe the channel so you can stay tuned and you won't miss our next videos. And also don't forget to share this video with your friends so you can show them what it feels like driving the Mclaren F1 with a proper shifter in all manual mode into the Lemons track and using the Oculus Rift DK2. Surely the best experience I ever had in the DK2. A lot of fun into that. Well, so that's it. Thank you for attention again, and I hope we'll meet again next time. Cheers.